In this video, we're going to show you how to replace your thermostat on the front side of your engine. I want to go ahead and remove our cap here off of our expansion tank. I'm going to pop that off and set that aside. Now on the bottom side here, right on the base of our wheel well area on the passenger side, there's going to be some plastic buttons here holding our lower splash guard to the fender liner. We're going to use our trim tool. We're just going to go up in here and we're just going to pop off the little buttons that are in here holding these together. Ours don't all match, so it looks like someone was already in here playing with these before. We're actually missing a button over here, and we have a zip tie there or some sort of anchoring strap. We're going to go ahead and pop that off, remove that, and let's go ahead and do the same for the driver's side. Okay, pop these buttons out here. On the front cross member, we have two 10mm bolts. Across the lower front portion of the bumper, there's a series of 7mm screws. Let's get to loosen and remove these. The little retaining clips on the back side here have come loose, so we need to grab that with a pair of pliers. And go ahead and remove those there. Now we get the screws removed. Got to lower this down. On the lower right-hand corner of our radiator, we have the drain plug or petcock right here. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. We're going to turn it counterclockwise. Ours is stuck a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and grab a pair of pliers. Turn that. Now we have our catch can underneath to go ahead and catch our coolant as it comes out. Now our drain hose is not working as it should. So we're just going to adjust our catch can here. And just pull that plug right out. Now that our radiator is drained out, go ahead and install your drain plug. Now if you're able to loosen your drain plug and it drained out through the hose here, perfect. If you had to unscrew it and remove it completely, go ahead and just thread that back in, and we're just going to hand tighten that back into place like that. Just give this a quick wipe down. And we'll go ahead and remove our drain pan. Grab your upper engine cover here. We're going to pop that up, remove that, set it aside. Let's disconnect our harness right here. There's a little red lock tab. I'm going to press that out. Pinch this tab, disconnect that like so. I'm going to use our screwdriver here, loosen up this clamp for the air intake tube. Okay, just give that a little wiggle woggle there and go ahead and pop that off. Let's go ahead and move this hose clamp off of our upper radiator. Slide that back. Now that we have our hose clamp pulled back, I'm going to go ahead and grab the hose clamp, break this free off of the thermostat neck here. Go ahead, grab that hose and work that off. With this disconnected, let's go ahead and do the same with the hose clamp to our radiator and remove this upper radiator hose. We have a pair of pliers on our other hose clamp. Let's go ahead and open that up and try and work that hose off. Good, set that hose aside. Using a 13mm socket, let's go ahead and remove the two bolts here. At this point here, I want to go ahead and remove the thermostat with the gasket. Pop that out. Now I want to go ahead and make sure that your O-ring seal is in really good condition. If it's damaged in any way, you want to go ahead and replace it. Ours looks like it's in good shape. We're going to reuse that on our thermostat. On our thermostat, you also want to make sure that the little valve is at 12 o'clock when you install this unit. On the other side here, there's a little gold tab right there. That's the valve. So line that up, install this at 12 o'clock, press that in, make sure it's in there flush. Make sure that this side of your housing is clean and smooth and with no defects in it. Go ahead and line this up. You want to go ahead and get these bolts started by hand first. And once we get these in, be able to go ahead, snug them down, and torque those into position. Let's get and torque down these two bolts to 112 inch-pounds. 112 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds. We're going to install our upper radiator hose. Just gonna get in there with our pliers here and open up that clamp a little bit. Just gonna reposition that so we can get that seated properly. All right, our upper clamp and hose is in position. Go ahead and grab the upper part of that hose, work that onto the thermostat neck here. And I just wanna go ahead and move this clamp down into position. Have our clamp in position. And our upper radiator hose is installed. Go ahead and take your air intake tube here. We're going to work that onto both the air box as well as our throttle body here. Now I want to go ahead and tighten down our hose clamps here. Snug those down. Install that front connector on the intake sensor. Press it so you hear it click in, and then press that red lock tab in. That'll lock it into place. Go ahead and lower the cover down into place. Lining up the pins and press that down to lock it into place. Let's go ahead and put our under engine splash shield up and in. With our splash shield in its general location, we're going to go ahead and install the 2 screws on the back side here. Once we get those installed, we'll go ahead and snug them down. All right, let's go ahead and install our 2 rear screws here. All right, once we have these 2 caught, let's go ahead and snug those down. Go ahead and install our screws into our retaining clips here. I'm going to get a few of these started by hand first, then we'll go ahead and snug them down. Go ahead and start snugging these down. You're just going to complete the same process across the whole front side and onto your 2 edges. You just want to snug those. Once you feel them stop, then it's pretty much maxed out. And just continue for the rest of these. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the 3 plastic push pins on the driver's side. This one here, when you're pushing it in, you might be able to use a flathead screwdriver on the back side just to apply some pressure to the fender liner. Pull it forward, lock them together. Once you have these three in, go ahead and repeat for the passenger side. And we'll get these two in here. Once we snug this down, you can go ahead and repeat the process for the passenger side. Now what we're going to do is we want to top off the coolant system here. We're going to go ahead and come to our expansion tank. We want to put on our funnel unit here. We want to go ahead and use a recommended coolant for this vehicle application. We're going to continue to fill this up, and we're going to go ahead and start up the vehicle, let it get up to operating temperature. That could be 20 to 25 minutes. Let that thermostat open up and pull the coolant from here. You want to go ahead and make sure that we go ahead and make sure the system is topped off. It might take you a couple times to make sure that the system is buttoned up and topped off with coolant. There is a max line on this here. We're going to continue to fill up the expansion tank until this is at max. Then we're going to go ahead and remove our cap, button it up. We're going to go ahead and start up the vehicle, let it start to warm up, and use that coolant. It might take a couple times to go ahead and get this back to its max line here. As the engine's thermostat opens up, it'll take some of that coolant out of the tank. We want to make sure that this is always topped off. Now that our expansion tank is at the full line here, we're going to start up the vehicle. We're going to put our heat on max, and we're going to let the vehicle run until we have good, steady, consistent heat. At the same time, we're going to watch our coolant level here. Let it run for about 15-20 minutes. Add coolant as necessary to maintain our max line. Then we can go ahead and remove our cap here and install our radiator cap, and we'll be all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.